I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
I think it's time for me to go hard as the hood I'm from.
DJ Khaled, we the good.
Yo, this is the Hungry Millennial, episode 10. Today I wanted to talk about consistency. It seems to be a real big issue. The reason why I started this vlog was so that I could be consistent and it will hold me to a discipline of doing something every day, right? Bringing value every day. A big issue is people not being consistent, right? Or consistent in the right way. I knew people that I went to school with, they would be consistent to be at every club, every party. When there was drink going around, it was there, right? They could be consistent at that point, but they weren't consistent in school. But in college, we're taught, okay, get the grade, then get the paper, right? Because the paper is tied, to the grade. You get the little grade, you get the paper, they're not gonna ask no questions. But the thing is life asks questions because you don't have the consistency of showing up on time on a consistent basis. I struggle with this in certain facets as well, right? So as millennials, we gotta get to the point where we show up on time, we do everything that we gotta do on a consistent basis, even if we don't believe in that. Even if we feel that at that point in time, we're not getting value out of that. That's one thing that I struggle with, right? So, when it comes to something I got passion for, I'm on full go. I'm like, boom, okay, I'm rocking it, right? But the real show of character happens when it's something that I don't necessarily want to be there for, but I made an obligation, right? So when I made that obligation, I have to be there and I have to be consistent because that shows moral, that shows character. When it's hard, that's when you got to be consistent. That's when you have to be the most consistent. That's when you, in your mind, that's when those positive vibes or whatnot, that's when those positive vibes turn into, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is where you need positive vibes in the struggle, right? But that's not just positive vibes, that's positive action because life knows how much work you put in. That's like right now I'm listening to DJ Khaled, right? I'm listening to Go Hard, right? So the thing is DJ Khaled been doing that. He had the same consistent message the entire time. A lot of times we look to these rappers and DJs for motivation. It's right there, but it's in the work because every month, almost every other week, DJ Khaled's got a hit or he's on somebody else's track. But you haven't got to the point where you really using the keys to success. You can hashtag keys to success, but at the same time, you're not willing to grind. You're not willing to take that extra amount of sleep and put it into your craft. You rather play 2K, cool, 2K, whatever. Madden, cool, whatever. But you got to ask yourself, is 2K and Madden going to put extra money in your pocket? Is it going to give you a good retirement? If you pop up and have a kid right now, have you been consistent in your craft enough to be like, hey boss, I need more hours, right? Because I got a kid now. Can they trust on your consistency? Because one of the hardest things to come to grips with as a manager when I was a general manager was consistency. I never knew who I could trust to be consistent. Even the most consistent person wasn't always consistent. Because when they phone was off or whatever, it was off, right? I get you need rest and relaxation, but when you in your 20s and you got the opportunity to grind and hustle, you do that. I've been up since this morning. I woke up at 5 a.m., obviously in the whip, because that's where I'm staying right now. I woke up and then I turned on my icon and then I got to listening to some motivation, right? I pumped out my 12 things that's gonna help me succeed, that I'm not gonna quit on, right? Then I looked at those things and I said, boom, is what I'm gonna do today gonna align with those things, right? Then I start hitting the highway. I start, getting those trips. And then before I knew it, I just kept my mind focused on that consistency of boom, go get a rider, boom, go get a rider, boom, go to your rider. By 12 o'clock, by 1 o'clock, I was excited. I was happy, right? But I was also conveying a consistent smile, a consistent positive attitude. It's not about the vibe. It's about what you carry from that vibe. on a regular basis, when your mind is tired, when your mind is weak, when you're fatigued, can you power through and continue to get the job done? Consistency kills. Consistency wins. Everybody see these rappers trapping and rapping and doing all this stuff, throwing all this cash in the wind. A lot of these rappers got degrees. They got consistency. They got heart. They've been in the basement. They've been in the lab. You talking about you want to be that rapper, but you ain't studied no other rappers. You're not studying what Bob doing. On a consistent basis, I'm on YouTube looking up detailing secrets, detailing tricks, right? So that way I become sweet. Today I dropped somebody off at the Ritz-Carlton and I pulled up, and I believe in having, being moving fast, moving quick on things, right? I had my magnets. Two of the Bell guys, they was like, hey man, you do interiors? My car is dirty, right? At the same time, if I wouldn't have pumped everything that I had into my craft, I wouldn't have had that opportunity to have that conversation. You have to set yourself up for that opportunity to have that conversation. And if you're not consistent in anything, if you don't have passion in anything, you're never gonna get that opportunity. Because when people are looking to invest, or they're looking for business, or they're looking for somebody to do it, to do whatever they need done, they want that yes. They don't want, see, I ain't got, see what happened was, nobody wants those types of excuses. They'll talk to you in a peace time, like, oh yeah, this is great, I want this done. But when it's time to execute, you gotta be able to execute. And you're not gonna execute if you haven't been consistent in your craft. So if I'm gonna leave you with anything, make sure you consistent, right? Because that consistency, when things get tough, you're gonna be able to eliminate that emotion and put in that work. Time after time after time after time after time, I had to learn as a manager, as a training manager, as somebody who was going to lead a franchise, as somebody who had went from a position, I was a training manager for said company, and I moved up very, very quickly. I was the only person to ever go straight from training manager to general manager. But that's because I was consistent. A lot of people don't know I was at stores that weren't my stores, helping up their stores at night, helping them bake bread because they had left that person behind. They didn't show that they were a consistent leader. And I knew where the hurt was gonna be. So I would go in there late at night. I would sweep some floors. I would help them bake some bread. I would scrape some pans. Whatever they needed done, I was bringing that value before I even had to ask them for anything. So at the end of the day, when I needed help with something small, a lot of times I didn't even have to ask because they knew how I rolled. They knew that I was consistent, right? We all have dry spells. Right now, I'm in a point where I'm resurfacing. I'm reiterating. I'm fixing my craft. I'm creating a system out of what I have. What I have, I can be consistent with it, so I can have consistent conversations with, whoever's in my back seat as an Uber driver about my business and what I bring to the table, because they can tell what's real. Today, I talked to a gentleman who, he helps big franchises go from where they used to be to where they need to become, and he helps out on the marketing side. But one thing that me and him agreed on was most people aren't consistent enough. They will tell you till you blue in the face they believe in what you're doing, but it makes you skeptical because you ain't never seen them be consistent at anything in their entire life. That's, when I was in college, we would sit there, the professor, we would come in, but we knew who was going to be late. We knew who wasn't going to be on time. We knew who wasn't about their craft. We could smell the weed on them from the front of the classroom. These are the same people that be like, well, I want to start a weed business. You're not going to last, bro, because you haven't done anything consistent ever in your life. If you working a 9 to 5, you working at McDonald's, you working at Burger King, show me that you can show up consistently on time. Show me that you can show up early. Show me that you can do those small things consistently before you start to tell somebody you're going to go do this. You're going to be rich. You're going to make a lot of money. Because let me tell you one thing, it's hard out here. It's hard out here. And if you get it on your own, it's going to be a lot more valuable. But listen to me right now. You have to be consistent in what you're doing. Whether it's waking up on time, whether it's waking up early, because I'm out here on my own. My passion wakes me every freaking day. That's all I got. I ain't got nobody sitting in the seat next to me telling me you can do it. I got a bunch of people that believed in me in the first place, but they don't call to check on me. It's cool. Because my passion fuels me. I believe in me. I got consistency in my craft. Consistency in what I do. Consistency breeds passion. You're going to gain those skills at whatever you want to do, but you got to be consistent and you got to be about that life. Because you starting a business and you ain't never ever showed up on work on time, or somebody always got to ask you to do something extra or stay late, you're going to be really, really hurting when you think you can just fly by night, start a business. You might have a lot more money than me. You might be smarter than me, but if you cannot outwork me, if you don't have phenomenal will, you're not going to get there. Anyway, yo, this is the Hungry Millennial. Like, subscribe, share. Again, like, subscribe, share. Hit that channel button. Go check out my channel. Check out my videos, right? I'm out here hustling, grinding, bringing that heat every day. I'm out here going hard. Also, check me out on the gram at On The Spot Guy. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.